Hi everybody, welcome to It Gets Faster Now TV. My name is Antti and today we're going to be looking at the route of the Portugal Rally Fafe ERC round route. Basically, It Gets Faster Now's tagline is everything about WRC stages, but why not talk about ERC as well, because it's interesting this year and the stages are partially the same as in WRC. So I haven't done like really detailed research on the stages, but I looked at the onboards as much as I could and tried to write down something. But let's just look at quickly how the route is set. We're in the same area where Rally Portugal WRC is situated as well, but of course it's a bit smaller area since it's an ERC round, so 180 kilometers of stages. Basically there's 4 forest stages on on Saturday and Sunday, driven all twice, and then on Friday there is a shakedown qualifying stage and a super special. The shakedown and qualifying stage is being used in the WRC Rally Portugal, and it's just shortened. Basically it starts on tarmac and then has this long acceleration, and then it becomes a bit more angular. There's still some quite high pace, but there's some tight corners from time to time, and then the ending is a bit more technical. It's like medium wide, and mostly there's like these quite high banks on the side of the road. It's a pretty representative shakedown. And then we have this evening super special, which is close to the rally base, and it's a pretty typical street stage. You have these chicane and a donut, and here's another donut, and then some tight junction turns and some other corners on the street. So it does its job pretty well, and it's the same as last year. Then we go to Saturday morning and we have a new stage kicking up the rally SS2 and 6. I don't even try to pronounce these stage titles, but it's only 9 kilometers long, but it's a completely new stage and I have no information about this. Like the start seems to be on some kind of a proper road, and then the rest is driven on these smaller roads that are with these dashed lines, so possibly it's a tarmac start and then the rest gravel, or maybe just really small roads. I don't know. I would guess it's a quite technical stage, but difficult to say without seeing any onboards. We'll see. It's one of the shortest stages, but then we have the longest stage, SS3 and 7. It's only 15 kilometers, but it's actually the longest stage of the rally because these are all pretty short stages. And this is the same that they used last year. The beginning is really narrow and technical, and it almost resembles Rally Sardinia because it's so narrow, and sometimes you are driving between these stone walls, and there's also 2 bits where you're going shortly for a tarmac section. One is here and here is another one, and then the ending is a bit faster and wider, so there's some rhythm changes. A really challenging stage. And then SS4 is familiar from the WRC event. As we can see here, the WRC stage would come from this another direction and then join the ERC road halfway through, and as we can see, the stage is the same as last year in ERC event. So this is a wider and a bit faster stage. I would say the beginning is like angular. You have long straights, but you also have these tight corners from time to time, and then it's a bit narrower at the ending. Okay, then we have one more stage on Saturday. This is also familiar from the WRC event, but in the opposite direction. And this year, the beginning of the stage, even in the ERC format, has been shortened a bit. This is the old version. It started from here, but now the start is on a new section and it's about 5 kilometers shorter than before. And this is like alternating between technical and fast all the time. It's like quite wide, medium wide, and here we have a short tarmac section, and then in here we start having big crests and it's maybe a bit more technical. So that Saturday stage is done. Then we have 4 quite short stages on Sunday. This is another stage that we have done before in the WRC Rally Portugal last time in 2019, but with a largely different route. And also last year's ERC route was largely different, but the 2021 route was similar but just a bit longer. Now we have the finish here, so it's shortened about 4 kilometers from 2021. So basically all the Sunday stages have one thing in common, that they all have pretty high banks on the sides of the road. I don't know what it's in the geographic area in here, but all the stages have these dirt banks on the side of the road, which means that you cannot really go wide, or you might knock a tire off the rim or roll the car or something. But this stage is like quite fast, and there's some technical and narrow bits here and there, but mostly quite fast. And then the next stage 11 and 15, this is actually something that has been used in the WRC Rally Portugal back in 1998, just slightly different. And this was used in this rally the 2 or even 3 previous years in the same 2 years in the same format, identically. Basically this is first like fast angular, so you have fast passages and tight corners, and then it becomes clearly more technical, but it's quite wide and there's those banks on the side of the road. Then we have SS12, which is exactly the same stage as in the WRC Rally Portugal. It has been used for 2 years now, in 21 and 22, but with just a different title, and it has also been used in this ERC local event for the past 2 years or even 3 years. Also 3 years in WRC, but the 2020 edition was cancelled, the whole rally. So this is another quite technical stage. There's some tarmac bits at the beginning and maybe some small faster passages, but mostly it's quite technical, and there's once again those high banks on the side of the road, and it's like medium wide, and there's a lot of these uphill downhill corners, so nothing special compared to the previous stage, I would say. But the most difficult stage of the day is definitely the final stage of the rally, which is well known for being the power stage of the WRC event, the Fafe stage, but it's now a bit longer. If we compare it to the WRC event, the start would be here, but now in the ERC we start already here. The beginning is like medium wide, and once again you have those banks on the side, and it's like quite technical, and then in here we have a bit of tarmac in the middle before joining actually a quite long tarmac section before we join the WRC section start, and then it gets more narrow but also more fast, and then we have another bit of tarmac here, just a short one, and then the stage gets definitely wider and faster. It's really fast in the middle, and then we have a bit of like these descending tight corners, and then we come to this iconic double tarmac junction, and then we have a bit of technical climbing, and then finally acceleration to the Fafe jump, and that's it. So this is one of the most difficult stages of the whole rally, because there are so many rhythm and surface changes, different kinds of characters in one stage, and it's also the second longest stage of the rally, and there's also a long tarmac section and a difficult jump. So there's quite a bit of same as we have had in the WRC event, but then again the conditions are likely to be quite different. Last year it was quite rainy and muddy, and it looks like it's going to be the same this year, so it's a quite different rallies, and in those tricky conditions the actual stages don't matter as much. But it's a good addition for ERC, although I really don't like the idea that they are sharing so many stages with the WRC event. I think they could find something else for this ERC event. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy ERC Rally Fafe opening round. The entry list is good, and see you on the next video on this channel. Bye!